What is going on, guys? Red here. Welcome back to another dark and darker video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys 3 extremely risk-free methods of farming gold, just to show you guys how easy it is to gear up and go beast mode in the high rollers, where some of the most thrilling gameplay happens. Besides getting landmined by a rogue, which should have been removed 3 years ago, I don't know how that's still in the game. I'm going to start with the safest but worst method first, which still actually isn't that bad for what it is. Method number 1 is going to be 500 luck bard PvE farming on ruins. In PvE mode, there is no PvP or friendly fire, and the goblin recovers your equipment no matter how you die. Now, the reason we're doing this on Bard is because you get a free 100 luck perk. Luck actually does influence the loot and make it better in the dungeon, but most importantly, the treasure room keys, which make us the bulk of the gold, they go from a 25% chance at 0 luck to a 90% chance from a gold chest. You can also get these unique pieces, which are about 1,000 gold, which stack to 500 luck very easily with a luck potion and a lyre that has luck on it. If you're broke, don't worry, you can just do this in Squire with like a luck potion and Wanderer's Luck. It'll only take you 1 run to achieve this kit anyways. You don't need legendaries. You can get away with blues and purples quite easily. Remember, you're in PvE mode. There's no PvP. For the perks, we're just running Charismatic Performance, Rapier Mastery, Superior Dexterity, of course, Wanderer's Luck. And for the skills, you're going to want your buffs, of course, and Unchained Harmony. Make sure you can play this. This is going to be the most important skill. This allows you to open chests for free and run through the map easily. You could really just take off Harmonic Shield and Langur and then just pop in Unchained Harmony here. You're going to be frying mobs either way, because all the mobs in PvE mode are extremely easy. I'm going to show you guys how one of these runs goes from ruins down to the Inferno, just to give you guys an idea of what spots to hit and how the run is going to look. And then at the end of it, we'll tally up how much we made and see how long it actually took. But before we do, a quick word from this video sponsor. If you're a dungeon dwelling goblin like me, you've probably got hundreds of hours invested into your favorite games, which means your gaming accounts are worth protecting. Surfshark helps keep your online activity private by masking your IP address and creating a more secure connection while you're online. Whether you're gaming at home, on campus, traveling, or using public Wi-Fi, Surfshark helps protect your personal information and gaming accounts. I personally use it while traveling, since its global network of servers gives me more control over how I connect online and access content from around the world. It can also help you access different content libraries on streaming services like Netflix and HBO when available, so you can watch more of the content while you're away from home. And let's be honest, between gaming platforms, launchers, Discord, streaming sites, and everything else, we're constantly sharing data online. Surfshark helps keep more of that information private, so you can focus on surviving the dungeon instead of worrying about who's tracking your activity. I've been playing extraction games long enough to know that losing a legendary kit hurts, and losing access to an account you spent years building is even worse. So if you want extra privacy and security while gaming, go to surfshark.com/reddd, or scan the QR code on screen right now, or use code REDDD at checkout to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark VPN with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Big thanks to Surfshark. But now let's jump back into the rest of the video. Alright, so we're Bard. We're gonna have 500 luck here in ruins. Just drink the luck pot as soon as you get in. Easy 500 luck. First thing you're gonna do is usually what I do. If I spawn near graveyard, I'm just gonna hit it. I just run around the boxes, and you'll see Unchained Harmony. You can just run throughout the doors. You don't have to clear a single mob in normals or PvE mode. I'm just using Unchained Harmony, looting a chest, and picking up all the treasure. And then the very last thing you loot in this module is just the Royal Coffin, which is gonna have the best loot. And yeah, after that, we're just gonna run to the nearest gold chest to try to get the key. There's a player in full gold with the Katisse named Crystal Sword. You're gonna see a lot of people in crazy kits, especially in PvE mode, because you don't risk them, obviously. And people just want to clear as fast as possible. I'm gonna leave a link to a map website that shows you pretty much where everything is, but this is a very nice gold chest to hit. And you'll see on the very first one that we do end up hitting, we get that golden key. Or sorry, rusty key. My bad. Golden key is going to be in the crypts. And then I do end up taking purple gear because you can scrap it down for purple scraps. And for arena, people do actually use those a lot, so they're worth a decent amount. Now, because we got the rusty key so fast, I actually come to this module, which is pretty damn good for loot in PvE mode. You pull the lever on the statue, and then you come down here. You get a ruby node. You can only get up to 3, and then a minimum of 1 in PvE mode, so it's not that much. But ruby ore is worth around 200 gold each. And then if you kill this golem, you can also get gold, cobalt, or ruby ore up to about 5 stack, I believe. We end up getting cobalt here. And then we get the cheeky linehead chest at the end. So it's actually worth hitting this, I think. But yeah, no time to waste. Straight to the key room. Break the wooden barrier. Get in there. You obviously want to be here early before a flood of players come with their own rusty keys. And yeah, you don't even have to clear a single mob down here. Just the archer sometimes, but you can leave the golem or the cockatrice alive and just get right in there. This is where the bulk of the money is going to be made in pretty much every map, the treasure room. And you're guaranteed the key essentially with the luck that we have. Here I'm just making 2 piles, one with all the green jewelry, one with the blue jewelry, because I'm going to leave the green one on the ground. Check the box to get the jewelry piece, open the marvelous chest. But yeah, the pile is going to be where the bulk of the loot comes from. As you can see, we get 2 purples, purple sapphire and purple candle. And then yeah, I'm not going to show all the pile, obviously, you just hit the rest, exit the room. I actually end up killing the golem because it is worth it since you fry it so fast. And we get 5 copper ore, which is like an extra 700 gold for the run. Hit the red portal instantly, toss that onto the expressman, and that's essentially what you're going to be doing on all 3 of the floors. This method is so chill that you can literally watch a stream, YouTube, or something on the side while doing it. You don't even really need game sound for this method. Maybe once you get down to the Inferno, because that's when things start getting a little bit scary. But yeah, Crypts is the easiest because the golden key room has a golden chest right beside it. And you're usually going to get that key, again, 90% of the time. Again, if you guys don't know about the Dark and Darker tracker tool where you can see the maps and where everything is located, I'm going to leave that in the description because it's very helpful, especially for the next 2 methods after this one. But yeah, the classic gold key room. Right here, you actually just have a door that you're supposed to use a lockpick on right beside the gold key room. You go in there, there's a gold chest. You just have to clear some spiders. It's very easy. And golden key, first try again. Right into the golden key room we go, and we're pretty much just going to do the exact same thing, obviously. Loot the pile. Get as much loot as possible out of the room. Now, this is what you should expect to happen in these runs. You're going to get people coming in and visiting these hotspots. I think 2 or 3 people roll in here, but we still get a decent amount of hits just because we are barred. We have some pretty high interaction speed. Next spot I decide to come to is Coliseum, which again has another gold key room. And you're going to notice that there are a ton of people here. PvE mode is filled. There are a lot of people with resource kits, luck kits doing the exact same thing. I decided to get 1 cheeky pull. We 7-man the skeleton champion, I think. Absolutely obliterate it. And if you have enough stuff in your inventory to just fill the expressman, it's not worth overstaying, especially if the hotspots have been hit. So I decided to just hit the red portal here. And we have just enough stuff to fill the expressman, which is nice. Because we're going to the last floor, which is going to be the most profitable one. The Inferno. Guess what we do here? We locate a gold chest. We get the skull key. Almost die aggroing 7 mobs and playing like ass. Then we make our way over to the skull key room. Now, if you see these life leaf on the ground, always pick them up. The green ones are worth about 600 each right now, I think, because they craft very good jewelry. But yeah, key room number 3 is the skull key. This is the best loot you're going to get, the most purples. The loot in PvE is capped at purple. It cannot go past that. But yeah, we end up getting the entire skull key room to ourselves, which is probably not going to happen if you are fast enough and you build enough resource and you can just instantly hit the pile in like a couple minutes. Then you'll probably get it every single time. Fill up the inventory to the brim. I had some portals spawn right beside me. Unfortunately, there was a 3-man trying to extract and I killed some innocent farmer. Just trying to get out with what he could. Rest in peace, Nick Salia. You will be remembered. With all that said and done, I end up selling everything to total it. Pretty juicy expressman, not going to lie. I put away all the stuff that I'm going to potentially list on the market, sell the raw treasure. With all the market listings and all the treasure sold, selling off a few gems that aren't worth listing, we end up totaling 5,000 gold profit from the run, which for PvE mode where you can turn your brain off and just clear mobs and hit key rooms, it's really not that bad. We didn't get lucky or anything either. This is just going to be your average run and loot. Keep in mind the run took around 33 minutes, so you can do like 2 of these an hour, which makes this method around 10,000 gold an hour. All right, method number 2 is going to be picking phantom flowers. We actually made an entire video on this. These last 2 methods are pretty similar, so this shouldn't take as long to explain. You're going to be starting on Squire Druid. Having herbal sensing is a requirement. This is going to make the flowers you pick more likely to be more rare. And of course, having rat form for unmatched map traversal and making the method much faster than doing this on pretty much any other class. Now, this is pretty much a zero input cost method. You don't need any gear. We're actually going to be playing normals for this on crypts. You're essentially invincible as druid if you just run away from someone with the amount of mobility you have, so you don't ever have to worry about dying. Again, if you don't know where any of the flowers are, there's a couple on ruins, but most of them are going to be on crypts. Just refer to the Dark and Darker tracker website for the maps. But essentially all you do is you spawn in as druid, break down doors on ruins with bear form, rush to phantom flowers. You really don't have to clear any mobs in normals. They're pretty much the same as PvE mode. You can also use your treant if you want to distract some mobs while getting some flowers. I first pick up the easy ones on ruins. I instantly read down to crypts where the majority of the flowers are going to be. Nice thing about herbal sensing is you can literally see the flowers through the wall. So if you don't know where they are in a certain module, it's very hard to miss. This is why druid is also so good for this. You just go rat form to traverse any hard area where you'd have to spend time maneuvering through pots or barrels. Chicken lets you jump extremely high, making it very easy to traverse stuff like this wall. And then of course being able to skip doors entirely with the rat form jump. We actually didn't get the craziest map, but I still ended up getting a ton of green phantom flowers, which is very good. Once you deposit to the expressman, you can just leave the game. We managed to get 13 phantom flowers that run, half of them being uncommon. To turn them into protection pots, just come over to the alchemist. Each flower makes 3 protection pots. We actually didn't get any purple protection pots, which would have came from the rare flowers, which is actually pretty unlucky. But I've gone ahead here and I've listed them all in the trade, and it comes to a whopping 4,800 gold. The thing is, this only took 10 minutes, so you could make around 28 to 30,000 per hour doing this. This already completely blows the PvE farming out of the water, but it can get even better than this with method 3, which is going to be farming copper and wardweed at the same time on druid. The reason copper ore is so expensive is because it is used to pretty much craft the best jewelry in the game, and the higher rarity of the jewelry, the more copper you need. And then the wardweed is just a flower that makes magic protection pots. We are running the exact same setup we just did for the last method, but we're buying a pickaxe, and that's the only thing we're adding. Everything's going to be the same. For the map, however, we're switching to the goblin caves. This is the only map that has copper and wardweed on it. And again, we're going to be going into normals, not PvE mode. This is so we can maximize the amount of ore we get while still keeping the risk pretty much bare minimum. Have I mentioned Dark and Darker tracker, where you can see the resources on the map? So for this exact resource, copper is not on here for some reason. I'm just going to show you guys the main modules that actually has copper throughout this run. The website does show wardweed, which is the bulk of the profit anyways. But yeah, in the game we load into, we actually just spawned by one of the best modules you can actually loot. This one is going to be called Cave Altar B. If you press shift with the map open, you can actually see the module names, which is a pretty recent feature. This module is so good because it has copper everywhere, and it also has 2 wardweed. These are the modules you mainly want to hit, the ones that have copper and wardweed. And yeah, in normals, I believe you can get anywhere from 2 to 4 ore per vein. Oh yeah, this room where the cave troll is another really good room to farm both these resources. The last room I'm going to mention is Spider Room. It's extremely annoying to clear, but this is unironically the most profitable room in Goblin Caves. It has 3 flower spawns. It can have, I think it can have up to like 6 or 7 copper ore. And then you also get spider silk off the spiders, which can be worth a bit. But yeah, all the copper ore in this room is going to be downstairs, so you just have to clear a few spiders and then you get to it. Now on Goblin Caves, you have a ton of static blue portals, and by the time you're done mining and getting all the flowers, you're just going to find one anyways. So it's a pretty safe extract every time back to the lobby. After the run, this is how much we managed to obtain. A decent amount of flowers, and actually 3 of them were rare, which means we are going to be making purple protection potions. I've gone ahead and listed everything, and I honestly didn't expect to make this much. This took 12 minutes, and we made around 13.7 thousand gold. You could say that's pretty decent, because that's almost 70,000 gold an hour. Ever wanted a nipple-on artifact for your ranger that you could never obtain? Go mine some copper and pick flowers for 20 minutes. It'll be yours. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the video. Haven't made a money-making guide, but if you guys are struggling to make gold and you want to run gear, this video is simply made to show you how easy it is with pretty much zero PvP activity. Without even clearing mobs on some of these methods, you can make an artifact kit in literally an hour with one of these methods. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed this chill guide video. We're going to be back with some spicy content for the end of the wipe here. We've got 20-ish days till the new wipe. It's a little bit dead, but we'll make it work. Until next time, take it easy and peace out.